warn you. Climax, asterisks, Fantasia, apocalypse. Decimas, I tell you. Decimas, I warn you. Take me to the bridge. Get down.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Welcome back, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is 7:45. You're listening to Ari, and with me is Roleza, and we are Activated Mornings this morning. And I just have one question. When is launching?
I thought you was trained by playing the song. I don't know. Were you?
When is the launching?
Were you?
When is the launching?
Answer my question first.
When is the launching? When is the launching?
Launching is typically or generally the first Saturday in May, which makes it.
Why are we not hearing nothing? Why are we not hearing nothing? Why are we not hearing nothing? What's going on?
We're going to hear next week.
What's going on?
We shall hear next week.
But anyways, police, patrol, be present. Make sure the children are not doing any nonsense. Please. Too many videos surfacing from massive and different places where young people frequent. Let's not be reactive to this situation. Let us get ahead of it. Please, I am begging you guys. But anyways, moving forward, the Unity Progressive Party, the UPP, says it has made a triumphant return to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, promising transformational changes. After backing out of the 2020 general elections, the Unity Progressive Party, the UPP, has emerged once again on the political stage in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, igniting hope and anticipation among citizens for a brighter future. That's clearly from a press release. It's clear, but with a robust agenda centered on job creation, improved healthcare, and a slew of other progressive initiatives, the party aims to steer the nation towards unprecedented prosperity, the UPP said themselves in a press release. The emergence of the UPP comes at a critical juncture for the Caribbean nation as it grapples with various socioeconomic challenges exacerbated by the global pandemic. Exacerbated. Thank you very much. It's a funny
word, yeah.
Against this backdrop, the party's revival signals a renewed commitment to address the pressing needs of the people and propel St. Vincent and the Grenadines towards sustainable development. Yeah, so there's more here, but the long and short is the party is being relaunched, but I didn't see any mention of candidates or anything, just that the party is being relaunched.
Yeah, there's actually there is a mention of where is it? So the deputy political leader is Danroy Paul, and I know another name was mentioned. I think it was in the comments somewhere. It was in the comments under the article. So yes, at the forefront is a Danroy Paul, and then there is somebody else, right? They also said that they are looking, so it's a 4-year-old political party, and they're scheduled to host a political rally in the upcoming months. All right, so we have is it a third party? I don't know if it's a third party or Green Party. I'm not sure if DRP is still in existence. So it's 3, 4, 5. I don't know if it's a fifth party here in SVG. But we have a youth-centered party. That's what it seems to be, because I looked at the profiles of for Danroy Paul as well as the other person, and they look very youthful. Now, I know looking very youthful doesn't mean that they are actually very young. They could be, but I don't know them personally, right? And I suppose one of the questions is that we can ask is, can our political climate accommodate a third party or fifth, depending on how the standing is right now? What are probably the success of a third party or fifth party in the upcoming general elections, which are scheduled for next year?
Well, that's a topic that we'll go into much deeper in the Talk to Me segment. However, I do think it's interesting that they resurface now. But what is the date on the rally?
They didn't say, it's just in the upcoming
They're just
months.
saying that there's a rally coming soon.
Mhm.
I think I'm interested in going to the rally and hearing what they have to offer. Because
You're-
oftentimes you see these parties don't last. And I really curious as to why. Is it a lack of funding? Is it they just can't make an impact with the red and yellow states that we currently live in? Why is it that they don't really last? So I curious to hear what is it that they're going to bring to the table that might bring on new voters, young voters, older voters. I'm very curious.
Or maybe just to shake up the scene a little bit.
Just to see
To shake up things just a little bit.
what is going to become of this. That's my genuine curiosity, because I don't care for politics, but I'm genuinely curious about this.
They did put out, I try to remember, I don't think it was just in this statement. They did put out information in terms of what their plans are. Now, to be honest, reading it sounded a bit generic to me. It sounded like things that you expect a political party to say.
Sound like a press release.
It was a press release. It's right there in the same article,
Yes,
right?
it sounds like a press release.
So it's not anything, and this is in no way to deter anybody who is associated with the party. I know that it's just the initial press release that's coming out. So we are going to have to look forward to hearing more. Not just the slate of candidates, but also in terms of the actual plans for development. But reading it for right now, it just sounded a bit generic to me. And but as Ari said, I am looking to see what may become of this, especially if it's going to be a party, let's say, of young persons. I think one of my questions as well too would be how much qualifications or background do they have in order to actually be able to take the country forward a bit, right? Because if you're in your 20s, if you are in your 20s, and I'm trying to be careful because I'm not trying to say people in 20s don't have plans or developments for the country, but I still do think that you have to have a bit more of experience, in a sense, political experience, because remember, even if you happen to win here in the country, you are going to be attending, let's say, forums, functions where you have other seasoned political leaders, so it's them fitting in. Have they been exposed to politics before, etc. So, but we will see what happens in time.
Yeah. But moving forward, court had overturned a ban on same-sex relations. It's kind of a misleading headline. But reading from the BBC, the Dominican High Court has overturned a ban on consensual same-sex relations in the Caribbean island nation. The court ruled parts of the law that criminalize same-sex activity went against the country's constitution. A gay man living in Dominica who brought the case said that the law violated his constitutional rights. LGBTQ activists welcomed the decision, hailing it as a significant milestone in the ongoing struggle for LGBTQ rights in the Caribbean. The court ruled that sections 14 and 16 of the Sexual Offences Act, which criminalize consensual same-sex activity between adults, were unconstitutional. Writing in the ruling, Justice Kimberly Senak-Fulgens said the court found they breached the right to liberty, freedom of expression, and protection of personal privacy as enshrined in the country's constitution. The anonymous claimant, an openly gay man, stated that the laws had condemned him to live in constant fear of criminal sanction for engaging in consensual sexual activity, and further argued that these laws incited hateful and violent conduct towards him and other LGBT persons, which he said prevented him from living and expressing himself freely and in dignity.
You go ahead. No, you go ahead. I know you was coming with that. Go ahead first.
I'm wondering what this means for St. Vincent, because we're seeing more and more countries, as Badu had said when he was here, we're seeing more and more countries get on board and change these laws. Again, I don't think. Okay, so the argument is that it emboldens person to attack, whether verbally, physically, or be partial when dealing with persons from the community. But I think that most people just don't care. In St. Vincent, at least.
So are you for the laws being changed or are you against?
I don't care.
So it could go either way for you. It,
It could
wouldn't
go either way.
matter.
It will go either way for
Okay.
me. But if it is, because I have not read the ruling, if it is that the 3 points that the justice made are in fact what is in the written ruling, that is, she doesn't think two persons living outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines should not influence the laws in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I wholeheartedly agree. It goes against the moral standing of the general public in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I wholeheartedly agree. And there's a spike in
It
STDs.
it goes against the moral standing of most persons, you think? Or a certain age group?
No, I said certain, but she said the morality in STD.
Right, but then you said you
generally. But I'm
wholeheartedly
saying,
agree.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah?
Yeah. Generally speaking, that's not the direction that St. Vincent is going. Some persons are for it, but that doesn't mean that they're in the majority.
Yeah, I was wondering if it's more related to an age group thing, because like for us, we probably don't necessarily care. Older folks tend to care.
I don't care.
Right, so that's why, yeah.
But the last point is a tricky point for me, where it was saying that she said the spike in STDs and all these things. Yes, it is unsanitary and you can get infections doing these activities, but
Heterosexual couples could get the same infections.
that's how I feel, because they're doing the same activities.
All right.
But that's the only part I disagree with. But what are your thoughts?
All right. So when I read this article, it sent me to go and look to see how many islands within the Caribbean actually have passed sexual acts amongst consenting adults. And of the 30 islands, so I did a quick search and I found something on Wikipedia. Now, I know teachers tend to say don't use Wikipedia, but it's what I found, so I'm using it,
Everybody
right?
So on
Wikipedia, it was saying so the title is LGBT Rights in the Caribbean. And under that, it listed the countries that have passed consensual acts, sexual acts among consenting adults of the same sex. And of the 30 Caribbean islands, including those that have overseas dependence or dependency, 26 of the islands actually have passed it.
Was it 26?
The countries are, well, I could tell you the countries that are not. So the countries that have not passed it are Grenada, Jamaica, St. Lucia, and us, SVG. All of the others have.
Stay strong.
Right, all of the others have. But you know, what it is that I need to also point out is that a lot of the countries that are still dependent on other countries, let's say Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, Martinique, etc., those that are still ruled by other territories, they automatically would have had theirs passed because of legislations in their quote unquote motherland, right? So that is why the number would have been I guess brought up in a sense, because of the fact that because it's legal in their mother country, by default, their laws in the Caribbean itself would have had to reflect the same thing, right?
I'm wondering if Belize
they actually don't have Belize listed here in the Caribbean under this list.
Belize not there.
No, Belize isn't here.
Oh, okay, because I think that they uphold the anti-LGBT, well, what is being called anti-LGBTQ laws.
Yeah, and of in terms of same-sex legal marriages, there are 12 countries, and again, many of them are the countries that are.
So, I saw somebody say that is an assumption. Ari, there are many closet same-gender friendly persons out there. Again, because I realize that the listeners tend to try to shift certain things I say, I'm going to be clear. I do not believe that they are in the majority. Think, believe, the key words there. I do not know for a fact. I did not do a survey.
Yeah, so somebody is also saying the change is inevitable. There'll be a lot of pressure applied from outside forces. But are we saying stand strong?
No, you know what I care about though? Like, seriously, I do not care who's part of the LGBT community, whatever happens. As long as people are not violent towards them, like whatever happened on their end, that's their business. What I'm worried about is the path that a lot of these larger countries have taken. It started with the LGBTQ, but the T has been a major problem in a lot of countries where they try to convince persons that they're more than one genders and this is what they should believe, and you should address them as sir or ma'am when they're not, and misgendering people. Listen, the time is 8 o'clock and the time check was brought to you by New Haven Funeral Home. We'll get back into this just a little bit when we come back here on Activated Mornings this morning.
Death is a fact of life. Even though death is a fact of life, that doesn't make it any easier.